Now, somebody who is dead, you say celebration of life. Are you celebrating the living or you are celebrating the dead?
Hello, welcome to your favorite WTV. My name is Gray Amona, and we're looking at something you might find at face value dismissible but equally serious on the sociocultural plane, celebrating the dead more than the living. And to do justice to this, once again, is the ever effervescent comrade Austin Milo. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
So, we're as good as started, and I'm sure the viewer is already
Yeah.
tickled.
You know, when you were introducing the matter, I was laughing because there's a program on Voice of Delta radio.
Yes.
You know, when there's a language in Nigeria, the Ka language.
Yes.
There is a song they normally sing. I have tried my best to understand the song.
Yes.
I'm not a good singer, but let me sing.
Yes.
Say, "Omonne doesn't Omonne doesn't Hello, we current you understand?
Yes.
So what he's saying is that if you have a mother, please take good care of her.
Yes.
Not when don't wait until she dies for you to now begin to kill ghosts and flamboyant celebration, because in the first place she died because you were not able to take care of her. You understand?
Yes.
Now, when we hear that some persons are involved in flamboyant burials, and they even target celebration of life.
Yes.
Now, somebody who is dead, you say celebration of life. Are you celebrating the life, or you are celebrating? Are you celebrating the living, or you are celebrating the dead? So that caption, I don't know, because I'm not an English student, because you are. No, it says celebration of life when somebody is dead. So for me, it is quite unnecessary, and it boils down to the kind of irresponsible financial characters or characteristics that we display in our society.
Yes.
When you live a life of ostentatiousness, you don't have money, as it were, and because maybe your friend buried her mother, because we used to get a language that they say, if you watch the way an Oba buries his mother, you want to kill your own mother.
Yes.
Now, you have seen how your friend buried his mother, and now you want to do likewise by selling your property, by going to the cooperative to borrow money, by involving everybody. When you are inviting someone to come, that you are burying your mother, immediately you see somebody, you sight somebody coming, your mind is that the person is coming to give you money. Who sent you? Because if you don't have money, the fact that you borrowed money to bury your mother does not make you like Dangote. You are still a poor man. You understand?
Yes.
And more embarrassingly, after the burial, now you begin to borrow. When I was young, they used to make a prayer. They say, after burying your mother, you now attract more blessings to yourself. But what we have today in Nigeria now is that after burying your mother, your father, some persons attract poverty to themselves because you cannot overcome the debt that you've incurred over the time.
Okay, so let's look at the other side, to the issue. That's two sides, have a coin, you understand? The African deeply sentimentalizes death. So do you think the African is in a hurry to go a little bit conservative on the dead? And because the average family, typical extended family value system, if you don't actually bury the dead, look at that expression, befitting burial.
Yeah.
It has actually, taken over the media space and even the sociocultural space. So I don't think the African is actually pushed to the wall. If he tries to be modest, in disposing of this custom, he's considered a failure. So don't you think the contemporary Africa, we're under pressure?
Yeah.
And we can actually dispense with, the ostentatious burial ceremonies?
Yes, for those of us Africans that are not Christians.
Yes.
Yes, because it was believed then that if you actually give your parents, your mother, your father, a befitting burial,
Yes.
Your father or mother, becoming an ancestor now, will be so happy with you that when he or she reincarnates, he will come to your house because you want to now kind of give you a kind of joy and blessing because you took care of her or him while alive and even during the burial. And on the other hand, if you didn't give him or her the kind of befitting burial that she deserves, by the time she wants to reincarnate now, she comes to your house to actually inflict pains on you. That's African belief, some of them. Yes. So because of it now, that people now do all those things. That was then. But today now you have Christians who don't even believe in reincarnation. You have Christians who don't believe that people will die and come back again. That it's only life after that is they say after life, death, and after death, there's nothing again. There's nothing like a second death or some of all those things. So because of that, because the African is always working on distorted information. You are a Christian and you are still a traditional religionist.
Yes.
Because when it favors you, you say you are a Christian. You shout Jesus Christ and all that when you are in the church. Then when you come out, so the best thing for people in Africa to do, actually, I'm not saying everybody should be traditionalist or everybody should be Christian.
Yes.
If you're a Christian, be a Christian. If you're a traditional man, be a traditional man. But whichever way you find yourself, be very moderate in whatever you do. Don't bury your mother at the expense of the children that you're supposed to bring up to be better than you. Don't bury your mother at the expense of the society you are trying to grow and contribute to its wellness and well-being.
Yes.
Because some of all these things that you do now also helps to actually translate and transfer some unnecessary values to the next generation. And that is why we're having issues with our younger generation, because they look up to people like us, because I did it, the man coming behind want to do it. So give examples that people should follow. Don't be ashamed, because one person must start something.
So between Christianity and traditional belief system, which do you think subscribes more to flamboyant burial ceremonies?
If you study religions, more than just Christianity and Islam,
yes,
many of the religions are on one page on the same issues. For example, there's no religion that is comfortable with extravagance. So even if you want to stay with traditional religion, you're not supposed to be extravagant, because the issue of cutting your coat according to your size is also embedded in traditional religion. If you go to Christianity, the same thing. If you go to Islamic religion, the same thing. And also, you see some person. We're talking about people who are involving themselves in extravagant burials. There are some persons who are going beyond that. After the extravagant burials now, they are thinking of how to even offset the bills incurred during the burial. Then after 1 year, they say they are doing remembrance. And maybe the man now is not even ready for remembrance, and the wife is saying, no, we should do it because that is how, and you see borrow more money. Instead of now talking about how to accumulate enough money to send your children to school or do better things in your life, maybe like if you don't have a house, to build a house, buy a car and all that, you now spend more money to buy rice and all that for other person to come and eat. Meanwhile, at the end of the day, you still get yourself more impoverished. You understand? So for me, whether it's a traditional religion, whether it's a Christian religion, or Islamic religion, whichever religions you believe in, try to tie it up to other beliefs in other in other religions, because it's the same thing. Discipline is the major bedrock of religion. Discipline, yes. For the Bible, for the Christians, the Bible is the Magna Carta. And other religions, I think they have other things that guide them.
Okay, so finally, do you think indigenous African society, will ever embrace simple taste in carrying out burial rites?
Yeah.
In the future?
Yes, they will. They will. And the only way they can is, I think some days ago, I was on set with you when we were talking about illiteracy in the system.
Yes.
So if the African man, the African woman gets reasonably educated to the point of understanding how nature works, he or she may now begin to see how not to be extravagant for him or her to prove a point that is not necessary. Because John Marston said one thing. He said people are funny. They use the money they don't have to acquire things they don't need, to impress people that don't like them. You understand? So you have to get to that point of understanding that even what you are doing, you are trying to impress people who don't even like you. They say, look at him, but you don't borrow money, go. And meanwhile, he's eating rice in your place. This one, you don't get money and he's buying rice. And you are happy you are buying rice for him, but he's looking at you. So that is it.
Okay, so we have looked at this issue now. It's highly sentimental and it bristles, with so many possibilities. But it's talking about the nature of the African, deeply sentimental about death. And the burial ceremony, the status of the ceremony, is the basic thing. And Comrade Augustine Emilio has been with us. Says it is important to embrace a simple lifestyle, because you don't spend money to acquire what in the long term you may not need and make yourself a lavish. Of course, you are used to the routine. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Noble TV is it always.